Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Now, the next question is, what is hybridization? Hybridization, by definition, is defined as the mixing or blending of atomic orbitals to form equivalent number of hybrid orbitals of the same energy level. Now, to discuss that, remember I said earlier on that carbon has 3 types of hybrid orbitals which are written above. We need to understand the electronic configuration of carbon atom, both in the ground state as well as in the excited state. I'm sure you get that. The electronic configuration of carbon in the ground state is 1s2. This is the orbital diagram configuration. We have the 2s2 in this format, and we have the 2px1, 2py1, and 2pz0. No electrons in the cell in the 2pz orbital. While at the excited state, these are the valence electrons, electronic configuration, valence shell electronic configuration of carbon atom. So at the excited state, these 2 electrons in the 2s orbital are unpaired, and one of them will be transferred into the 2pz orbital to give what we call what we have in this format, 1s2. We have the 2s1. You can see the energy is now the same, 2px1, 2py1, and 2pz1. So these are the ground state and the excited state electronic configuration of carbon atom. Now, another thing is that in any form of organic compound, there are 2 types of covalent bonds. The first one is the sigma bond. The second is the pi without e, pi bond. And before we go into the hybridization or each of the hybrid orbitals proper, we need to know how each of these covalent bonds are being formed. So we are looking at the formation of sigma bonds, formation of sigma bonds. Sigma bond can be formed in 3 ways. 1, overlapping of 2 s orbitals. When the electron, and remember s orbital is spherical in shape, while p orbital has a dumbbell shape, the d orbital is double dumbbell. So when 2 s orbital electrons overlap, there is going to be a sigma bond which is of this form, sigma. The second way by which sigma bond is formed is overlapping of 1s and 1p orbitals. In that case, you have s orbital electron overlapping with p orbital electron to give you something of this nature, which is a sigma bond. While the third is overlapping, linear overlapping. That word is very essential. Linear overlapping of 2p orbital or orbitals. You have a p orbital in the linear form plus another p orbital in the linear form. Both overlap linearly to form a sigma bond. These are the 3 ways by which, diagrammatically, by which sigma bonds can be formed. Now, let's look at the formation of pi bond. A pi bond can only be formed in 1 way. A pi bond can be formed in 1 way. Formation of pi bond. And that is bilateral overlapping of 2 p orbitals. You have a p orbital in this axis overlapping with another p orbital to give us lateral overlapping, and a pi bond is formed. And as a result of this, if you look at the formation of the two bonds by the diagrams shown above, of course, you'll be able to picture some of the differences between pi and sigma bond, and that is very, very essential. One of the differences between pi and sigma bond is that pi bonds are formed by low degree of overlapping of p orbital electrons, while sigma bonds are formed by higher degree of overlapping. You can see all these are occupying much more space than this. So the degree of overlapping here is higher than the degree of overlapping there. Then secondly, we shall discuss that when we get to the three types of hybrid orbitals. And you are going to observe that sigma bonds are actually formed from hybridized orbitals, while pi bonds are formed from unhybridized orbitals. And another reason is this: sigma bonds are stronger as a result of higher degree of overlapping than pi bonds. And do not forget that pi bonds can only be formed from overlapping of p orbitals, while sigma bonds are formed from overlapping of s and s, s and p and p, among others. And this is one of the reasons, and these are some of the reasons or differences between the two types of covalent bonds that we actually have. Now, I would like us to go straight to sp3 hybridized orbitals. The sp3 hybridized orbital, this involves mixing of one s with 3p orbital electrons to form 4 equivalent sp3 hybrid orbitals, as in the case of methane. That is the simplest organic compound ever known, as in the case of methane. Now, we are going to explain this in details by looking at the configuration, excited state electronic configuration of carbon. In the excited state electronic configuration of carbon, we have one S2, we have 2S1, we have 2PX1, 2PY1, and 2PZ1. Now let me clear the other part of the board, because I want you to see it clearly. Now, when this overlapping occurs, you are going to have something of this nature. At the end, you have 1s2. This is untampered with because it's the inner shell electron. You have the energy of this will be lesser than the energy of the atomic orbitals. So you have something like this. This is now sp3, 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 and sp3 hybrid orbitals after overlapping hybridization. So you can see that in sp3, all the atomic orbitals are hybridized, and that is why there is no pi bond, because pi bond can only be formed from unhybridized orbitals. So the shape of the molecule actually is like this. You have carbon atom, this hybridized orbital, half load, this another hybridized orbital, another hybridized orbital, and another hybridized orbital. Actually, this is a bond shape. The actual shape in three-dimensional is that this bond, this hybrid orbital, protrude inward, while one of these two bonds protrude outward, so that the bond angle is 109 degrees centigrade, 28 minutes, which is visually approximate to 109.5 degrees, while the shape is called tetrahedral. I want us to explain the formation of the sigma bonds in methane. You know, as I said here, a carbon atom has 4 hybrid orbitals, and the hybrid orbitals are this. You have this, you have this, you have this, and you have this. Okay? A methane contains 4 hydrogen atoms, and each hydrogen atom has an electronic configuration of 1s1. So here, the first hydrogen atom donates electron here. This has electron, hydrogen donates 1 electron. They form a sigma bond, which is as a result of overlapping of s and sp3 hybrid orbital. That's a sigma bond. Another hydrogen comes here, donate electron. You have overlapping there as a result of S and sp3 hybrid orbitals. Another hydrogen donates electron here. You have a similar case of sigma bond all through. And while the last hydrogen donates electron also to form the sigma bond. So the shape of a methane molecule actually in Lewis, using Lewis structure is in this form, which is known as tetrahedral with a bond angle of 109.5 degrees. Now, this is how all the alkanes hydrocarbons have been formed. For instance, if in the case of methane, ethane, you have another carbon atom here, which is also linked to this in this format, meaning this sigma bond that is formed as a result of one of the hydrogen atoms in methane has now been replaced with a methyl group. So if we remove this hydrogen atom and we have another carbon atom with 4 equivalent sp3 hybrid orbitals, you have something like this. Then this and this sp3 here, sp3 here overlap to form a sigma bond, while this carbon is also linked with 3 different hydrogen atoms in this form, and the shape remains the same, or even when you have a branch alkyl group in a higher hydrocarbons. So from this explanation, you can observe that the percentage S character in sp3, S character is equal to 25%, while the percentage, this is S, percentage S, percentage P character is equal to 75%. You might be wondering, how do you come about 25 and 75? We have a total of 4 hybrid orbitals here. 1s, 3p. So the number of s to the ratio of s to the total orbitals is 1/4 times 100%, which will give us 25. While that of p is 3/4 times 100%, which will give us 75. The knowledge of that will be useful when we get to other aspects in the application of hybridization.